We've built our integration into Redbubble. To manage this, we will be using an iMacro in Firefox. Only specific old versions of each of iMacros and of Firefox will work. I'm going to show you how to install two different versions of Firefox on the same computer so that you are able to utilize our software for uploading to Redbubble, as well as being able to use the most recent version of Firefox. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this link here, which is in the documentation we've provided, and that's where we're going to download the earlier version of Firefox. So you'll see here there's a range of options. Choose the one that's appropriate for you. So if you're on Win64, then that would be you. If you're on Win32, or you may be on a Mac. So I'm going to choose Win64 version of Firefox. We're downloading version 49.0.2. So just while that's downloading, it'll take a while. My internet connection's a bit slow. It's saying it'll take a few minutes. So what we are doing here is, because different versions of Firefox and iMacro, the capabilities of what you can do with those have changed over the last couple of years, and that's why we're having to do an old version of each of them. The latest version of Firefox and the latest version of iMacro won't allow you to do what we're doing with this. So you'll see it's downloading a zip file. Just while it's downloading, I'll show you we already have the current version of Firefox loaded on my computer. Okay, so that's now downloaded. So we can open that. And you'll see it's a zip file. Now what we're going to do is extract that file. Oh, I've got to highlight it first. So we're going to extract all, and we're going to select a location for that to go to. And what we're going to do is we're going to find in our computer, for me it shows as Acer C, which is the model of my computer. It's just the C drive on your computer. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a new folder here. So I'm going to right click and select new folder, and I'm going to call this Firefox Design Upload. Then I'm going to select that folder, and that's going to be where we're going to add it into. So just go to your C drive, and then Firefox Design Upload is what we're going to call it, and we're going to put all that in there and extract into it. So that's going to take a little while to run. There's quite a bit of stuff that's coming through. We'll just wait that out. Hopefully it won't take too long. Okay, so that just took a few minutes and it's now completed. So I've just skipped ahead a bit. So you'll see now I've got that file structure in place. You'll see there's a number of files here. The only one that matters is under Firefox SDK bin, and then if we go down to Firefox, this one here, that's the executable file. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that file and we're going to put it on the desktop. So we're going to go into an open space on our desktop, and we're going to right click, go new, shortcut, And we're going to browse and we're going to find that same location. So under this PC, and go into our C drive, and here we have Firefox Design Upload, and under Firefox SDK and bin, and we're going to select Firefox there and click OK. So that's the location. We're going to click Next, and we're going to rename this, and we're going to call it Firefox Design Upload, and we're going to click Finish. So it creates a new icon for us here. You'll see we've still got the latest version of Firefox sitting over here. So I'm just going to refresh the page, and what we're going to do now is we're going to click into this, and I'll just show you the difference. This is the very latest version of Firefox. So you can see in the menu structure here, if we go Help and About Firefox, so this is version 61.01. So that's the very latest, and this one that we're about to open, you'll see that this here is, go to Help and About Firefox, it's 49.0.2. Now what we're going to do is make sure that this doesn't try and update itself to be the very latest version of Firefox, because we want to retain this version ongoing. So what we're going to do is go into Options, and then Advanced, and in Update, this here all appears for me because I've done this before, so it may not appear quite the same for you, but just click across to Update, and then you want to click on Never Check for Updates, and then that's done. Before you got to this point, it may have invited you to do an update. If it does do that, just press cancel or say no and get through to this point. Once you've said that you never check for updates, it shouldn't update going forward. So we should be up and running there. So now our next step is going to be adding the iMacro. So we're going to do a similar process. We're going to be adding iMacros for Firefox version 8.9.7. So we're going to take the link that is provided in the documentation, from this one here. Now it's important that you use that same version of Firefox to open it in. Don't try and open it in Chrome or in the latest version of Firefox, because that's not going to help you. So we're going to go down to version 8.9.7 and we're going to add that to Firefox. And then just click Install. And we have to restart Firefox. So we're going to do that now. And it'll reopen again. See, there's now an icon in the top right, and so it's saying iOpus iMacros, and that's what we're going to use to be able to operate our iMacro program. So if we click on that, you'll see that a window appears here. So now we're going to make sure that it's not going to automatically update the iMacros. So we're going to open up that menu on the top right again, and we're going to click Add-ons. We're going to go to where it says iMacros for Firefox and click on More. And then we're going to scroll to the bottom. We're on Extensions here. And at the bottom of this page, there's Automatic Updates. It's most likely set to default for you. You want to turn that onto off. That's all you need to do in that location, and so we can just close that window. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to go to our Word doc again, and you'll see we've got two versions of Redbubble iMacros available. And what we're going to do is click on one of them, and then we're going to right click on it, and we're going to save to file. And what we're going to do is under My Documents, you'll see that a file for iMacros has been created for you. You click on that and then go to Macros, and you'll see the Spreadshirt ones are in that same folder that we saw before. And we're just going to save this, so it's Redbubble/Lite. We're going to save that one to that folder. And then we're going to go to Redbubble Dark, and we're going to do the exact same process. So we're going to save to file, and we're going to add that one as well. So that's been done. You'll see they haven't updated here yet. If we just close that window and then come back up here, and now they'll appear. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open both Redbubble, and you want to make sure that you're logged into the platform as well. And then if we go to Q and Redbubble, so now it's going to show us everything that is ready to be uploaded for Redbubble. Now what we can do here is, if we wanted to, we could move things backward or forward. So we can move things to the front of the queue. So now these will be the first three that get uploaded. And now what we're going to do is we're going to be clicking play. Now you'll see these are light images that we're going to be uploading. So they're light collection, light group. So I've selected Redbubble Light, and there's a separate one here for dark images, and they're treated differently by the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to play that, and it's going to start running through this process. In total, it'll take around 6 minutes, somewhere around there. So it's going to start off by grabbing the first image, so it's a beach kind of day, and you'll see what it starts to do with it. It's just counting down the time there. There's a few periods where it'll wait. One thing you want to watch out for is if you have a really slow connection, we have a separate version for that. So it'll say Redbubble Light Slow or Redbubble Dark Slow. And if you have a slow internet connection, they are the versions that you should be using, and it'll have a longer waiting period between each action before it tries to upload. So you'll see here it's uploaded the image, saying to put it onto different products. Okay, so it's uploaded the original image. You'll see that this here is quite far down on this print clothing. The image that we've added is it's a centered image, and you'll see that it's replaced that with one that's vertically at the top here instead of a vertically centered image here. And it's about to do the same on the large print clothing. You'll also notice that it's got a lot of white in that and some really light colors. So we've been replacing that image with a black t-shirt so that it's going to show much better. You'll see here it says 8 of 9 enabled. That means there's not just one product type there, there's actually 9 different product types, and of those 8 are currently enabled. The only one that's currently not enabled there, I think, is kids t-shirt. Now you'll see here beach has been moved up, so the logo, the design here has been moved up on that shirt. It's hard to keep up with what it's doing here. There we go. You just saw it. It's now a black t-shirt and it's been moved up on there. The process it's now going through is adding the background colors to each of these products and resizing them so that they look correct on each of those product types. So you'll see this was that medium blue that we selected previously that we're using now as the background color. So this area here is all PNG, and on the overall sublimated product, they're printing that alternative background color instead of just being white, which is what a sublimated product starts out as. So it's going to take in total about 6 minutes running through this process. You'll see that it's going to do on these non-apparel products as well. So it's just grabbing each of those images, it's converting them into a colored background so that you can see it correctly, and making all those adjustments. So every product has a set size that we're doing it with. You'll see ones like phone wallet, when it briefly flashed up on the screen, it didn't look quite right. We've disabled that as a product for you. It's very hard for us to get that looking right without creating new image sets to make that work, and it's all quite time consuming to create individual image sets for each type of product. But you'll see I think we're doing about 50 products here at once. You can imagine how long this would take you to do each of these individually, that you'd have to resize, add the correct color, and manage all that process yourself normally. So you'll see it's doing phone cases right, it's doing pillow cases right. Now on some of these products we ran into a few issues where they were just slightly different to how it manages some of the other product types. So you'll see that Spiral Notebooks and which other one? Spiral Notebooks is definitely one that's going to end up being a slightly different format. So we've done what we can where we have to reduce the amount of area that's being used, and you'll see there'll be a slight white background at the end of that. There we go. So that's just been adjusted. It's now doing a clock. So it's nicely centered that, and now it's putting a background color on it. You can see on the bottom right here where it's doing this background color, that's where it's doing all those selections and the size on the product. It's just going through a wait cycle to make sure it's caught up on everything. And now it's just processing another image that it's going to be using here. Now one thing to notice is I'm just using the normal play, and that will play through one cycle. You'll see there's also a repeat macro here, and that there's a current and a max for it. So you can set that max as high as 50 is the highest that you would have that at. I'm just going to pause this, and you probably don't want to go over 50 designs per day. And what you can do is have this set so that if you use play loop instead of play, it will do up to 50 designs at once, and you can have this running in the background while you're doing other things on another browser that's open like Chrome, and be able to continue working while this works in the background for you. And it'll do roughly about 10 designs per hour onto about 50 products at a time. So you'll see now we've got 51 products available. It's converted all these into black t-shirts, and it's moved this into the right location for a t-shirt. So it's appearing around that chest area instead of too far down. And then, so for graphic t-shirt, chiffon top, all these sublimated products, and move these designs up, and it's turned these into that background color that you've selected. So all these different products are good to go. So cases and skins all look about right. Got some wall art. Home decor, some bags, and stationery. There we go, that was the other one that ends up with a slightly different format as greeting card. So as you'll see, it's done a pretty good job converting all that, and we've tested this both on quite long designs and shorter ones like this. And it does a pretty good job of managing all those. So that's how our Redbubble upload works. Feel free to test it out, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. But we're pretty excited about it. We've done a fair bit of testing on it, and looking forward to lots of designs going up on Redbubble for all of you.